Around the year 570, Mecca was a rugged trade hub in the Arabian desert, ruled by a handful of powerful, interlocking merchant families. In this valley, safety wasn't a right, it was a commodity bought through family connections. The center of their wealth was the Kaaba, an ancient temple that had been filled with 360 different idols. Each statue represented a different tribe's god, turning the city into a mandatory destination for thousands of pilgrims and their money. Survival in this city required the backing of these ruling families. Without a powerful relative to protect you, there was no law to prevent you from being robbed, enslaved, or killed by anyone with more influence. This wasn't a system of spiritual devotion, it was a strictly managed economic monopoly. The ruling elite used these idols to consolidate political power and ensure that the wealth of the region flowed directly through their hands. Muhammad entered this world as a poor orphan, the most vulnerable class of Meccan citizen. He eventually rejected the city's complex web of idols, choosing instead to believe in a single, unseen God he called Allah. He navigated this cutthroat trade environment as a merchant known for his reliability. His reputation for honesty led him to work for and eventually marry a successful and wealthy widow named Khadija, which provided him a rare measure of stability. Despite his new status, Muhammad grew increasingly alienated from Mecca's social order. During the annual month of Ramadan, he began leaving the city to seek isolation in a small cave on the peaks overlooking the valley. This voluntary exile took him away from the markets and the rituals of the Kaaba. It was in this silence that he prepared to introduce a message that would challenge the very foundations of Meccan authority. While praying in the cave, Muhammad experienced a series of revelations. He reported that the Angel Jibril commanded him to read or recite, delivering the first verses of the Quran. These oral messages would be memorized and later recorded in this precise script. The core of this message was a direct challenge to the Meccan status quo. There is only one God, and he demands that every person be treated with justice, regardless of their tribe or their wealth. This theology carried immediate political consequences. In Arabia, your primary legal and moral obligation was to your tribal leader. By defining Islam as total obedience to Allah alone, Muhammad effectively removed his followers from the tribal chain of command, stripping the oligarchs of their traditional authority over the poor. The ruling families recognized that if they lost their monopoly on obedience, they would lose their control over Mecca. They responded by launching a campaign of harassment and violence against Muhammad's growing community. The elite began a systematic crackdown, subjecting Muslims to torture and trade embargoes. During this period, Muhammad lost his most important protectors, his wife Khadija and his influential uncle Abu Talib. Both died within a single year. In the midst of this despair, Muhammad recounted a night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem and into the heavens. This event provided a crucial sense of spiritual validation for his followers while they were being physically hunted in their own city. To end the movement, the Meccan leaders organized an assassination plot. 7 men, one from each major family, were sent to kill Muhammad while he slept, a plan designed to defuse the blame and prevent a blood feud. Muhammad escaped the city ahead of the killers. While hiding in a cave with his companion Abu Bakr, they were allegedly protected by a spider's web and a nesting bird at the entrance, which convinced the trackers the cave was abandoned. This migration to the city of Medina, known as the Hijra, moved the Muslim community beyond the reach of the Meccan families. It transformed a group of persecuted individuals into a sovereign community in the desert. In Medina, Muhammad's role evolved to meet the needs of a besieged community. To protect his followers from Meccan raids, he organized the first Muslim military defense, taking on the responsibilities of a tactical commander. The first major test was the Battle of Badr. As this diagram shows, the Muslims were outnumbered 3-1, facing 1,000 Meccan soldiers with just 333 men. At the subsequent Battle of Uhud, Muslim archers broke formation, allowing the Meccan cavalry to flank them. This inflicted a heavy defeat, though their prior victory remained a landmark turning point for the movement. Despite the losses at Uhud, the Muslim forces continued to survive Meccan offensives. Their resilience convinced neutral desert tribes that the Meccan families were no longer the sole power in the region, and many began shifting their loyalties to Medina. By the year 630, the power balance had completely shifted. Muhammad led a force of 10,000 men back to the gates of Mecca, presenting an army so large that the ruling families had no choice but to surrender. The Meccan leaders, who had spent years persecuting the Muslims, expected a massacre. Instead, Muhammad offered a general amnesty, allowing the city to surrender without further bloodshed. Muhammad rode to the Kaaba and began systematically toppling the 360 idols. As the statues of stone and wood shattered on the ground, he rededicated the temple exclusively to the worship of one god. The destruction of these idols was the final blow to the old order. It dismantled the economic engine that had sustained the Meccan oligarchy for generations, replacing their tribal monopoly with a new religious and social structure. This history of smashing idols established the precedent that remains central to Islam today. Muhammad and Allah are never depicted visually. The focus shifted entirely from physical statues to the written and recited word. The logic of this restriction is to prevent the human tendency to worship images, objects, or individual leaders. By keeping God unseen, the faith emphasizes the abstract over the material. Islam emerged from a lawless, idol-driven society by demanding a total shift in allegiance. It replaced a corrupt system of human obedience with a devotion to a single, unseen authority.